Good morning, guys. How are we going? I was normally going to hold this on our private paid group, but I spoke to my team, and this really needs to get out to the rest of the world. And it's about the collective consciousness of the world that it's in at the moment, and the state of, pretty much the state of the collective consciousness that everybody is operating from fear. They're operating from hurt. They're operating from separation. They're operating from so many. We aren't in a collective consciousness. So, the powers above or whoever's, and I believe have obviously done this on purpose, has they've done a really good job of it, yeah? So I want to talk about a collective consciousness of how we can start bringing order to the chaos, how we can start bringing, power back to ourselves as people, because as I say, if we can look through the hearts, past the shell, past the colors, past the relations, past the religions, then, we're going to bring power back to ourselves. But at the moment, we're acting like animals. And I know people are upset, and I know people are hurt, and I know people, but, two wrongs don't make a right. So that's what I want to talk about today. And, let's get the party started with that. I'm just getting 110 messages at the moment. And so who have we got? Georgia, Rachel, how are you, sister? Wayne, how are you, bro? Ashley, San Marco, how are you? Great to have everybody on. So, good morning. I've got my espresso, so we're ready to get the party started here. And the world right now needs to hear this message. So early this morning, I'm part of let's just say a higher coaching realm. And Kate, how are you, sister, all the way from Boston? So there were great speakers. So some of the speakers is Tony Robbins, or, Anthony Robbins, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Lewis Howell, and everyone's, just putting their understanding of what's happening at the moment across all different parts of the world. So what I want to talk about at the moment, the collective consciousness, and when we talk about a collective consciousness, we're all in like a spider web, yeah? We're all in a web of energy that we're connected to. We're connected to thoughts. Then if we watch that thing over there called a programming machine, then what happens is that it's all this power mongering that's going on. And the only way that we are going to be able to bring peace, serenity, bring some order back to this chaos is firstly within the individual, yeah? So the thing about everyone getting upset about what's happened, and we understand, and there's the killings and the racism. Like, I've lived in the States and I've seen it. White people are racist with whites and blacks are racist with blacks. It's crazy. But what's happened is that we have to look at the root cause. We're forgetting about what training did that policeman get? Why is he like that? How is he being brought up? Having that understanding. Should they be putting people through screenings to, don't put them in authority, don't put them in authority places or in positions. But what I want to talk about of what me and you can control right now, and what we can control our consciousness. Obviously, we've just come back through a very, let's say, tidal wave of uncertainty, yeah? And the tidal wave of uncertainty that we've been going through has been this coronavirus. We don't know if, people have lost their jobs, people have lost their minds, people have lost their income, people have lost the certainty, people have lost their lives. And it's just like, wow. The thing what we have to look at is how fragile we're allowing ourselves to be. And how manipulated we're allowing ourselves to be. Fragile and manipulated, yeah? The people, if this is getting controlled from the people above, this is the scary thing. They're going, fuck, that was easy. Because, yes, the coronavirus, and there's some cases, and there could be some facts, but what it's creating fear, and now with the riots, separation. And don't get me wrong, the racism, especially in America, has been going on for hundreds of years. We all understand that, yeah? But the way we can handle it, a punch for a punch is not going to serve anything. Yeah, understand an eye for an eye, a wrong for a wrong. Two wrongs don't make a right. Because what's happening is you're rocking the boat. A dog bites a dog, another dog bites a dog, then the bigger dog will bite the dog, and then before you know it, you've got a snowball of this energy. And what you need to start understanding is that us people in the universe are starting to wake up. Yeah, we're starting to wake up. There was this collective consciousness of going, you know what? We are so much more able and so much more switched on, so much more connected to the universe, or some people can say God. And then, you know what, the powers that, let's say whoever are going, fuck, they're starting to wake up. We need to separate them. We need to cause distraction. We need to cause fear. We need to cause separation. And as a collective consciousness, of having your consciousness of being in control, of giving love, caring, loving yourself firstly, not worrying about this and that and anger and wanting to hurt people and so on, or being in fear, because you can only change the world by changing your world. Yeah, you can only change anything by firstly changing yourself. You can't expect to have anything else in your life if you don't have it within you. So at the moment, you see people with this uncertainty, you see the separation, you see the anger, you see the racism, you see all of this, you see the chaos. But what the crazy thing about it, we don't want to be, I'm going to change the world, but we have the chaos within us. Well, I'm going to save these people, but we still have the fear in us. We need to be able to change ourselves, and we change ourselves and we can change the world. Because, good morning guys, how are we all going? Because we can't do anything if we don't have it within us. So this is the thing that you need to understand. Like, people are saying, they shouldn't be doing that over in America. And oh my God, and the coronavirus this, and there's anger here, and there's separation there, and there's fear, and there's all this uncertainty. But guess what, guys? We can only make a difference when we make a difference in ourselves. We change the world by changing one life at a time, and it starts with us, with our consciousness, because the consciousness of what we have, we are all connected. Think of us being in an ocean, underwater now in an ocean, and obviously that water is touching us. We're all part of that ocean, and that's consciousness, that's awareness, that's energy. And people don't understand that. So at the moment, all the fear and the anger that's going on in America, even by not watching that thing called a TV, is still affecting us. We're still feeling it. We're still getting influenced by it in many ways. So, the crazy thing is, I've got my Michael Jordan top on because I absolutely love him, obviously. But, it's, you see, let's connect with our heroes. Let's connect with what makes us happy. Let's connect with, what gives us joy. And the thing is, to me, this is all strategized, because we've been deprived from our sport. We've been deprived from our freedom. We've been deprived from so many different things, getting locked down. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't see your friends. And then all of a sudden, it's like this is all premeditated, and these motherfuckers at the top are all understanding and giving us that. And then all of a sudden, what's happening is, we've got all this built up energy, that because we've been locked down with this uncertainty because the coronavirus, and then they go and do this, then they start this racism because we've had this built up energy. And I'm thinking, you know what? This is all fucking premeditated. They've planned this because we as a collective species, we have been starting to evolve. Yeah? We're starting to evolve. I know you probably say it a bit different about some people, but as a species, we're starting to evolve. We're consciously going, you know what? We thought that we could only use 7% of our brain or whatever it might be, and we can use all of it. We're becoming conscious, we're becoming powerful, we're becoming unstoppable. And all of a sudden, the people that want to control us, they're going, fuck, we better do something about this. We better put anger, because if you want to destroy the strong, you create anger, you create fear, you create separation. Look what's happening. So let's get smart. This message might reach 100 people, it might reach 1,000. So share it to your pages, share it to your friends, because I look at the facts. I don't look at what people say. I don't look at the actions. I look at the result of what's happening, what isn't, yeah? And the thing is that it was crazy. Yesterday, I was part of, because I used to play a high level basketball over in the States, and I played, it was like VBL, CBA. And a couple of my big African American friends were over here yesterday. And we did a video into a private group, and one of the brothers, it's like a private group there, to say, hey, look, you know what? There was myself being the Caucasian, obviously them being the African American, and we had my friend who was Hispanic. So, you had the white, black, and brown, whatever, you see me doing that love heart. And the thing what happened was that we walked down the street, and I live in St Kilda Road. We went past the corporate building, and they looked at us like, what the fuck are you guys doing together? Or they looked at us like, do you know what I mean? It was like when, you know, gay people, when you see a gay person holding hands, it wasn't okay. And I thought, look at the conditioning, what this is doing. Because how we're going to get strong is bringing that collective consciousness back together. How we're going to become powerful again is linking arms, not dividing us, not using force. Because you have to remember, you know, the police and these white supremacists and the person that's at the top of the food chain in America, they're just going to push back even more. They're going to fuck us up even in some other ways. Do you think that we're here to support and we've got your back? But you have to remember, we're the ones that are powerful. Power in numbers. Because alone we're unique. Together we're unstoppable. Say that again. Alone we're unique. Together we are unstoppable. I'm going to have my espresso. Maybe I had too many espressos today, but I like it. So I always think about a champion team, yeah? And if you know about the Bulls, if everyone's been watching The Last Dance of Chicago, when Chicago Bulls were the most unstoppable team, it is when every one of them were functioning as one, like us, yeah? If you want to be a championship team, if you want to be an unstoppable fucking force, if we can relate to Michael Jordan, yeah, so you can have some similarities, that when Dennis Rodman wasn't going out getting fucked up in Vegas, when Scottie Pippen wanted to leave because he wasn't getting paid, when Jordan wasn't being a bully, when Scott Kerr wasn't punching on with Jordan, when Will Perdue didn't want to play, when BJ Armstrong didn't want to get traded, when Horace Grant didn't want to go else, when everyone else wanted to fucking play, they were the best team in history. And guess what? We can be the best people. We can become the best group in history. Because at the moment, what you need to understand is there's distraction of separating the races, looking at someone and getting conditioned. Oh, there's a black guy, a white guy, there's a Caucasian or African American. You know, it's conditioning. Like my brother Preston Smiles, he put a post up yesterday, and it made me so angry. That there was, I don't know where it was, there was a protest, there was an elderly man, he was like 70, 80 years old, and he's just gone up to them and asked what happened. They've gone over and they've pushed him, and he's fallen and cracked his head open. And I don't know if he died or not. And I'm thinking, if that was my dad or my grandpa or anybody, any of you guys, those police, you know, I would have got shot because I would have killed 5 of them. You know what I mean? Because that's what happens, force for force. And they pushed him over for no reason, and he's cracked his head open. And then a guy went to go and help him, and then the other superior officer pushed him away. So what I'm getting at, let's not get caught up in the anger. Let's not get caught up in the fear. Let's not get caught up with, okay, let's get back at everything. Let's come back together and have our collective consciousness of loving ourselves, caring for ourselves, giving positive energy to ourselves, because we can't give love, we can't give positive energy, we can't care for anyone else if we can't care for ourselves, because you can't give what you don't have, and you can't receive what you don't have. So it's not about putting out, it's about creating it within, and then you can give and receive at the same time. It's like healing a wound. You can't experience love if you don't have it firstly, and you can't give it if you don't have it. You can't care for somebody if you don't care for yourself. And if you don't care for yourself, you can't receive care. You guys understanding this? You can't give or take back anything if you don't have it within yourself. And this is a thing that I've been really discovering about myself lately, because it's like, how can I become the best version of me, become a better man, become a better coach, become a better partner, become a better son, uncle, brother, all the relations, family. How can I become better if I don't have it within myself? You know what I mean? You can't. It's the consciousness. And you have to remember, as humans, we come together as tribe. We're meant to be in tribe. Yeah? You know, that's how we grow. We're meant to come together. We're meant to help each other. There's supposed to be that the human evolution, the human, let's say, universal law is tribe, is groups. And it doesn't matter what the tribes and groups are. Let's make sure it's for good things. But, you know, we can get drawn to the wrong groups. And I know I have, because for the wrong reasons. But we have to remember that we need to get out of our judgment. And we need to get out of our ego, because I put up a post and some people sent me some threatening messages, yeah? Not that it threatened me, to be honest with you, like it doesn't bother me one little bit, but they wrote some disgusting things. And you know what my post was? All lives matter. Not taking it away. The love hearts in the background was all black. And all lives matter. Not saying that blacks don't, or whites don't, or Caucasians don't. And the message that these people got, and in their own mind, was saying, "Oh, you're saying that black lives don't matter." And I mean, hold on a minute. Can you please go to the dictionary and have a look at what the word "all" means? Does "all" mean all fucking lives? So people's mentality, and I did this for an experiment, and I knew it was going to push the button, but I want to see people's brains, how they look through the eye, and I said to them, "I want you to move your head side to side." And they go, "Why?" "Oh, because you can hear the P in your head, your P brain going ting, 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 ting. Do you know? And why I say that, because what you guys don't know, I have another client who's an elderly lady who I know, who her son lives in Santa Monica. She's from Boston as well, from where Kate's from. And I won't say exactly where she's from. And I get the email firstly from she didn't tell me, because obviously she's hysterical, but from another person that's been part of the team, that her son is gay, and was with his boyfriend in Santa Monica while these riots were going on. And there was a group of African Americans, and their top or something, one of these t-shirts, they thought that was a racist slag, and they stomped his head and killed him. 18 years old, his boyfriend is in critical thing because of this anger. So what you need to understand is, I understand people are angry for what's going on. I've been in America, I've lived in America, I've seen how police treat African Americans. It's disgusting. I've seen it with me. I've had a gun pulled on me twice because I told the security guard to, just piss off, leave me alone. Do you know what it's not okay. So what we need to understand is getting to the root cause of this. Firstly, how are these people getting into these authority positions? Number one, what training are they fucking getting? They need to have mental screening if there's any. So it's the training what happens, and you see it because there is. They look at African Americans completely different. They look at Mexicans differently. It's the white supremacy. It's active, and it is there in America. You don't see this shit. You live in America, and everyone that knows it, Kate, you live in the States, you understand, you know this stuff. So there's things that, okay, that's been happening for 100 years, but it's the collective consciousness of us becoming stronger, of us loving ourselves, us caring for ourselves, for us focusing on ourselves. Because again, we can't give love, we can't give strength, we can't give care, we can't give anything if we don't have it ourselves. You know what I mean? In a relationship, you can't love someone if you don't love yourself. You're just existing. You can't care for them if you don't care for yourself. You can't be positive. You can't show growth. You can't respect yourself. You can't give truth. You can't give anything to another person if you don't have it within yourself. So you need to understand this, that the collective consciousness starts and ends with one person and then goes to billions. Because we can't start a movement if we don't have it within ourselves. Because you can go and start screaming and hold up signs and do all that. That's just noise. That's distraction. That's not the right energy. That's just saying, hey, we're standing up for ourselves. Because guess what? If I get angry and I want to go around and start punching people, it's so easy, isn't it? I don't need to think. I'm very loose. I'm getting angry, and that's not control. That's not force. That's not me being strong. That's fucking out of control. So out of control, having force, loitering, killing other people, fucking doing all that, that's not power. Power is being intelligent. Power is bringing that collective consciousness, because what's going to fucking scare Trump, the Illuminati, all those people that are controlling this and that are doing it on purpose, is when we are calm, when we are collective, when we are powerful, when we are strong, when we are linking arms together, black, white, Asian, fucking whatever it is, Muslim, Catholic, that is what is power. I put up a post the other day, the other day, and it says this. Geez, I put up a lot of posts, but look into each other's hearts and understand the unique challenges that we all face. We will treat them and we will treat others with much more gently, with more love, patience, tolerance, and care. Because we don't know what people are going through, yeah? You could have someone that their partner just died. You could have someone that is, facing their sexuality. You could have someone that's lost their job. You can have whatever. There's so many things that people are going through and you just don't know. And it's like, because they acted a certain way. Remember, this is the key. People aren't their behaviors. Yeah, people aren't their behaviors. Because you're angry one time doesn't mean you're an angry person. There's something that you've allowed to spark that. If you're sad one time, you're not a sad person all the time. There's something that you've allowed, not made you, you've allowed, something that you've connected to. So I'm always about, going back to the root cause. And I always think about it being a sparky, and I hated electrician and I wasn't a good sparky. I wasn't bad at it, but it's always about going back. It's always going back. What caused this? You know what I mean? Let's go back and what's caused this? You want to go back to the root cause. Like if we talk about mental health, or if we talk about, let's just talk about mental health, suicide, depression, all these things that you label, that why is it rising? Because push-ups isn't doing shit. Growing a moat isn't doing shit. Are you okay isn't doing shit. It's the root cause of society, the pressures, how we treat everybody, the bullying, the tall poppy syndrome, especially here in Australia, and the pressure, especially for men in Australia, to be this Superman, to have all this money, to look all these ways, and you see it. You see it around the world. You see it especially here in Australia. So, I'm getting pumped up. I'm not gonna do a strip tease. So just relax. Need to get the body back into shape to do a bloody strip tease. I'm just sweating. It's hot. 2 seconds. I'm gonna put my aircon on. It is hot in here. All right. Had to take the Jordan off. Pump. Got the espresso happening. The electrolytes. Make sure you get all hydrolyted in the morning, guys. And I'm going to go back on everyone's posts a little later, yeah, because I'm just going to keep them flow so everyone's commenting, and I'll go back and I will reply. So I'm not being naive, and Australia needs to learn to work together a lot more. So even in a family, so if you talk about a family, you can have, 2 parents, and what's the majority? It's normally 2 parents and 2 kids, a boy and girl. Let's just say that's the generalization. How are you going to bring collective consciousness? How are you going to bring synchronicity to that? How are you going to bring that together as a team? Is not pointing the finger, you have to do this and you should do that. Creating fear and smacking and doing all that. It's not all these things that are happening. You need to understand this. That's going to create separation. That's going to create fear. That's creating anger. That's going to create, again, more separation. That's on a small scale in a family. Because if a father is not disciplined himself, then how can he show discipline or give discipline to his children? And if a mother can't love and care for herself, then how can she love and care for her children? You know what I mean? So it's the contradicting. So if you think about, peace and respect, and you've got the dad screaming off his head, and then, you've got the mum saying, hey, stand up for yourself, but she's allowing the father to scream, and, there's that verbal abuse, then the kids are going, what the fuck? You're telling us one thing, but you're doing something else. And that's because whatever we do, it's within. And that's why I say to myself as well, if I feel like I'm out of alignment, and I'm allowing my external and my personal things get to me, I will say to my team, hey guys, I'm going to take a week off or something to get aligned. Because if I'm sitting here opening my trap, the hole in my mouth, call them, the hole in my head, called a mouth, then, and if I'm not backing it up in real life, then it's like, hold on a minute, how incongruent is that? How can I give that? You can't feel. You can't fake energy. Yeah, you can stand up and become a great talker and, have a, what do they call a teleprompter and all that shit, but it's from the heart. So what I'm saying today, I want you all to understand, even within yourself, even if you've just got a partner, or even if you don't, or you've got friends and family, whatever, but how are you going to bring synchronicity? How are you going to bring strength to that? Is all thinking like everyone's going to have their own different values and they care differently, love differently, be positively differently. There's going to be different things throughout, that you're going to do it differently, but bring it together. Because, you can't say you want to bring peace, but if you're being angry and putting up signs and having this anger and this resentment to everybody, it doesn't happen, you know what I mean? So you need to understand that you get to that place of that deep understanding of yourself. Yeah, you need to be consciously aware. You need to have the love. You need to have the care. You need to be the positive example. You be the example first, and then you can give it to others. You'll be able to receive it, because if you don't have it, you can't give it. If you don't have it, you can't receive it. Always remember that. And you see people that want relationships, they want love, they want success, they want peace, they want all these things in their life. And the reason why they don't get it, because they don't have it within themselves. And then they will jump to the different partner, and they will go to a different area and a different job and a different group and a different social environment. And they're like, oh my God, I feel like I don't fit in, I can't find anyone good. It's like, no, because you haven't found yourself. You haven't discovered. So it doesn't matter how good things are, your model of the world, your perception, your structure of reality is not what your heart desires. Yeah, you guys getting it? Olivia said, in other words, practice what you preach. Of course. But if you want to use words what everyone else will use, it's up to you. Starts and ends with me first to be accountable. That's it. And that's, if you've got a family, you can't be pointing the finger and say, hey, I want you to be, have high standards. I want you to be successful. I want you to, do this and be disciplined and have respect. And if you don't have it yourself, then how do you think that that child is going to be? It's the resistive. It's like, it's not what you say, it's the energy. It's what you do. It's the example from that. So what I firstly want to say, I want to thank my team that allowed me to put this on the public page, because this content and this high level of content, it's in our paid group and our online program, which is twice a week, which we normally have every Tuesday and Thursday. On Thursday, something was, or Tuesday, I think it was, and we moved the coaching session, the online program, which is the True Authentic Reality, to today, and that's. So thank you guys for allowing me to share this to the public. So I want to leave you with this, that before you open your mouth, before you move a muscle, before you type something, well, that's moving a muscle, before you do anything, is this. You need to spend the time, stop being distracted from the outside world, stop being distracted from your environment. Could be the partner, could be social media, from anything, your outside world, your environment, and you need to start to, so what I mean by that, you're not allowing your environment to condition you. You control your environment. You spend the time to love yourself the right way, not because what the world and how this person tells you to love yourself, or what you've written in, or what you've seen in a book. Spend the time to go within. Spend the time to quieten yourself. No distractions, no phone, no social media, no TV. Even not even reading a book, because that's someone else's idea. That's someone else's story. Spend the time with you writing and going within, of connecting with who you are. Breaking down all your life areas. How do you love? Not because what I tell you to love, or because of some relationship coach or a priest has told you to love. How do you love? And what does love mean to you? How do you respect? Respect yourself. Practice that. Practice getting good at loving yourself, respecting yourself, caring for yourself, putting the right energy in, not looking for, oh, I need alcohol, I need drugs, I need sex, I need social media, I need significance, I need an outside something. Because I'll tell you a secret. This is the only period of time in my life where I have lived by myself for this long. since I've been so young, I've been in relationships, long relationships, yeah? Been engaged 3 times, been broken up in my last relationship in 3, when was it? I think it's been 11 months. And this is the longest period of time I've lived alone, yeah? And it hasn't been easy. It's like I had my 40th birthday on May the 4th, which was, geez, it's almost a month. It has been a month already. So, and I'm thinking when I was going to be 40, I wanted to have kids, I wanted to be married, have kids. I was supposed to be getting married this year. And obviously you can't control other people and what they go through, yeah? You can be the best representation of yourself. And what happened was that there was times I've gone, you know, what's going on with my life? And you're looking for outside fixes, and you're looking for other things to fill you up, and you're feeling alone, and you're doing this, and oh, what should I do? And I'll tell you what, you get to that point when you go, geez, you know what? There's so many people, but everyone's so alone. And yesterday I went for a walk down the beach, and there were so many people you could tell that were alone. Yeah, you can tell. It's different when they're talking and whatever, but you can tell people are alone. But what I was thinking, well, I sat there and I watched the sunset. It was about 6:30 down St Kilda, and I thought, I'm not alone. I've got the world at my feet. Look at where I'm at. I'm in Melbourne, Australia. Yeah, I'm in one of the most blessed countries in the world. All right, there's a lot of things that you can focus on negative. I have my I have great health. I've got an amazing family. I'm doing amazing things, saving people's lives, coach. I'm doing what I absolutely love. I don't need to worry about my watch or my car or my apartment or my bank account. Fuck that. It comes down to we are alone with each other. Yeah, and look, and I sat there, and that's where a lot of this motivation of this collective consciousness of where the world has been designed, social media has been designed to pull us apart, to separate us, for us to, we need, oh, look how many people like my post. And on social media, you know, this is a camera, you know, on Instagram, taking selfies and pictures, girls with their tits out, ass, guys with their, you know, their muscles. It's all this significance. It's all an outside fix. So I sat there and I started just to run down in all my life areas, all my strengths, all what I'm grateful for. Connect with who Lee Bundy is. You connect with who you are in all your life areas. And things came up that I've never thought about. And I've gone, wow. You know what? We are more blessed than we are more blessed than we remember. Yeah, I'll say that again. We are more blessed than we remember. And sitting there and going, okay, that didn't work out. Is it in my present time? No. What do I want next? Because if it isn't here, if you can't, you can't make a difference right now, then what do I want? How can I learn from it? Because the thing is, most people are stuck in the past. Oh, that happened, the rest of it. And then they're scared about the future, so they're depressed and have anxiety at the same time, but they're not present. They're not listening. People talk too much because they've got their minds about, it's that feeling because they haven't healed from the past. They're scared about the future. They're depressed and have anxiety at the same time, but they're not present. And guess what? All I can do now, I can slap my head, but can I go back and change it? I can't, so what I'm getting at, it's understanding, doing the things about making sure you don't keep doing the same things for what happened in the past. And you need to understand that you can start to keep loving yourself, start to keep going deep. Oh, thank you, Tammy. Tammy's just sent me a nice message. Thanks for that. So, it's understanding and finding what fills you up, yeah? And having that collective consciousness, because, you see people that go back into in friendships or relationships, 2 halves don't make a whole, 2 wholes make a relationship. And, you even see with you go, oh, I'm going to go into that social group because I feel lonely, and it's negativity, values, and all the rest of it. So what I'm saying is, spend the time for yourself to go within, to build your consciousness up, to fall in love with you again. How do you respect yourself? How do you care for yourself? What are your values? What are your beliefs? What are your internal motivators to get you going to start something? What are your internal drivers that keep you going? What's the daily action that you do every day? Because this, my friends, I'm all about ultimate human potential, yeah? And I live through this myself. It's not like, oh, it's okay for you, Lee, and you know what, you've got it all sorted. No, I don't have it all sorted, and I'll never have it all sorted. But I have the tools, I have coaches, and I do the work. And that's why my friends, you know, and my clients, so Rachel, Kate, Dave, Kyle, I think that's who's on. We've got a whole other team as well. Thank you for allowing me to share this paid group. You guys have paid money, time and investment to gift this. And if you're finding of this of value and you want to be part of this team, guys, send me an inbox, because this value, what we normally have every Tuesday and Thursday night, is a paid group, a private group. It's an online group coaching session. So, you know, I really appreciate my team allowing me to share this, because they're the ones that are putting the time and investment in this. I'm here just at the service. But again, more is equally everyone that's got on here, people that I know, people that I don't know, you know, thank you for spending the time on your Saturday morning, giving up your time to be present and understanding, taking this energy in. All I'll ask for you is to share it. If you found this of value, share it, put a comment. You know, what were your biggest takeaways? Get it out to the world, because alone we're unique, but together we are unstoppable. Yeah, always remember that. Have an amazing weekend. For the people in Victoria, I think it's only Victoria, have an amazing long weekend. I'm Lee Bundy, the CEO of the Ultimate Flow Experience, FlowX Project, and Beast Mode International. Must love, power in numbers. Take care.